Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone to this wonderful session of Bhagavad Gita reading. Um, Last week, due to some unavoidable seva which had come up, at the last moment, I was not able to conduct this session. But nevertheless, we will start this week and continue from where we had left off. Okay. So we are discussing chapter number 3 of the Bhagavad Gita, the Karma Yoga, and the shlokas which we will be discussing today are Sloka number 22 and 23. Okay, so without further delay, let's perform some pranam mantras first to invoke auspiciousness. Those who know can repeat after me. Those who don't can just listen very intently because listening is also very, very purifying. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gururo Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजन सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघते गिरि यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्यमीश्वरम् हरि ओम हरे कृष्ण Okay. So let's quickly recollect what we were discussing in the last session. I think in the last session, verse number 21 we discussed, right? Verse number 21, we saw that how Lord Sri Krishna was giving the example of Janak Maharaj, right? That he said that he was a self-realized soul and he had no obligations to perform any of his prescribed duties. Okay, yet he attained perfection by following the prescribed duties. He didn't give up on the prescribed duties, right? Why? Just to set a good example. And in this verse also, Krishna will give a very intimate example, an example about himself. Yes. And in this way, he will try to inspire Arjun to follow the prescribed duties and not give up his, Kshatriya duty of fighting the war. Okay. So let's read the shloka first. We will go through the keywords and then we will read the translation also. Let me share my screen real quick. Yeah. Hope it's visible now. So, Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 3, shloka number 22 goes like this: Na me parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptavyam varta eva cha karmani. न मे पार्थस्ति कर्तव्यम त्रिषु लोकेषु किंचन नानवाप्तम अवाप्तव्यम वर्त एव च कर्मणि. So first we'll read the keywords. We'll try to see what are the keywords in this particular shloka, and then we will read the full translation. Okay. So, O Partha, Krishna is addressing Arjuna as Partha, that is son of Kunti, O son of Kunti. Okay. Na me asti kartavyam. Okay. That means there is no prescribed duty for me. Trishu Lokeshu Kinchana, in all the three planetary systems, not just here, but in all the three planetary systems, there is no prescribed duty for me. Okay. Nanam Vapta uh, Nanavaptam avaptavyam. Okay, nanavaptam avaptavyam. Okay, I don't want anything and I'm not in the need of anything. Nanavaptam, I don't want anything. Avaptavyam, I don't need anything. Varta eva cha karmani. But still I'm engaged in the prescribed duties, right? This is what Krishna is telling. Okay, so let's try to read the translation first, complete translation, and then we will see what uh, Srila Prabhupada wants to convey in this particular shloka. Okay. So I'll share my screen again. Translation goes like this: O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems, nor I am in the want of anything, nor I have a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in the prescribed duty. So Krishna is very clearly saying that he has no obligatory duties to perform, okay, but still he is engaged in all the prescribed duties which are mentioned in the scriptures, in the Shastras, okay. So Krishna is citing his own example here, okay. So now first, let's try to understand the position of Krishna. Okay, what is Krishna's position? Okay, then we will try to understand that how uh, Krishna giving his own example, in terms of performing the prescribed duties is relevant in this context. Okay, so one very important sloka. Uh, this is a very important sloka. Like we are getting an opportunity to speak and hear about Krishna himself. Okay, the Krishna's position actually. Okay, so who is Krishna? This is the main first question we'll try to address. Okay, so here he is saying that there is no work prescribed for me at all, not just here, but in all the three planetary systems. Okay, there is no work prescribed for me. Okay, so only the person who is the supreme or who is the topmost, okay, can make such a claim. Okay, so Krishna here is the personality from whom everything emanates. Okay, and this is not just uh, our conception. Okay, but it's also Krishna himself is clarifying this in the Bhagavad Gita. In the 10th chapter, 8th verse, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Right? Aham sarvasya prabhavo, Krishna is saying. That means everything emanates from me. Okay? Matta sarvam pravartate, and I am the cause of everything. Okay? Iti matva bhajante mam. Those people who understand this, buddha bhava samanvita. Okay? They actually worship me by their intelligence. Okay, and further, when once we go towards 17th and 18th chapter, Krishna clarifies that person who worships me by his intelligence, such a person is very dear to me. Okay, so if we are worshipping Krishna out of emotion or out of sentiment, that is also good. Okay, but if anyone worships Krishna by the intelligence, by fully knowing who Krishna is, what is the position of Krishna, okay, what is our position in respect to him, okay, with this kind of knowledge, if we are worshipping Krishna, okay, just because he is Krishna, okay, not for the want of anything material, okay, then such a person is very, very dear to Krishna. That is what Krishna is confirming. Okay, so this is what Sloka number 10 of the Bhagavad Gita will tell us, that Krishna is the cause of all causes. Everything emanates from him, not just material, but also the spiritual world. Okay, it emanates from Krishna. Okay, and the same thing is said by Lord Brahma also in the Brahma Samhita, right? Lord Brahma says, Ishvara Paramah Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarvakaran Karanam. Okay, that means Ishvara Paramah Krishna. Okay, there is only one supreme personality, and his name is Krishna. Okay, one supreme controller. Ishvara means controller. So one supreme controller is there, and his name is Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Satchidananda Vigraha. His form is eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. Okay, Satchid and Anand. Okay, that is the meaning. And Vigraha means form. Form. The form of Krishna is eternal. It's full of knowledge and full of bliss. Okay, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchid Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda. Okay, this personality Govinda, he has neither any beginning nor any end. Okay, there is no beginning and no end for this personality. Okay, Govinda. Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. So this is what Lord Brahma is saying in the Brahma Samhita also. Okay. So first thing we need to understand that Sri Krishna is the origin of everything. Okay, everything that we can see and everything that we cannot see. Okay, they are all coming from none other than Krishna himself. Okay. Next thing that we need to understand is that when we talk about Sri Krishna as a personality, there is no difference between Krishna's body and his soul. Okay, he is fully spiritual. Okay, Sat, Chit, and Anand. That's what I said, some time back. Sat means eternal, Chit means full of knowledge, and Anand means full of bliss. Okay, so Sat, Chit, Anand, Vigraha. Vigraha means form, body. Okay, so Krishna's body is fully spiritual. There is no difference between Krishna's body and Krishna's soul. Okay. So when I say there is no difference between Krishna's body and Krishna's soul, let us try to understand this a little deeper. Comparing it to ourselves first. Okay, that where do we stand in comparison to Krishna? Okay. So our body, gross body that you see, okay, basically that is made up of five elements, which we commonly know. All of us know that they are known as Pancha Mahabhut. Okay, five elements. What are they? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Okay, this gross body is made up of these five elements. Okay, and we see this in the form of flesh, bones, blood, muscles, mucus, bile, etc. Okay, so this is the gross body. Okay, so we have a body and we are inside this body. Okay, always remember this is the first principle that we teach every newcomer in the Krishna consciousness, that we are not this body, we are the spirit souls. Okay, we are that spiritual spark, we are eternal part and parcels of Krishna. Okay, so when we come, under the influence of Maya, when we come to this material world, we have to accept a material body. Okay, so this body is like an external covering. Okay, it's like a cloth basically. Okay, and soul or us, the Jivatma is residing within this body. Okay, but when it comes to Krishna, his body, his heart, his mind, everything is same. Okay, there is no difference between that. There's no question of him being afflicted by material nature and residing in a body made up of five elements. No. Okay, he has that spiritual body. Okay, that spirit itself, he's in the spiritual form, and that has a very nice Satchidananda body. Okay, so that is the absolute personality. Everything about Krishna is absolute. Okay, Sat is eternal, Chit is full of knowledge, and Anand is always beautiful. Okay, so this is about Krishna's body. Okay, and then he is always in his original position. Okay, that means he is the supreme personality of Godhead. We have to accept that, and he never leaves that position. Okay, so that position is already taken. So any person who is in a delusion that one day he or she will become a god, right? I'm really sorry to say, okay, that position is already taken. Okay, and Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Okay, so let's try to read from the purport what Srila Prabhupada is trying to say here, and then we'll try to understand more. Okay, so. hmm. So here what Srila Prabhupada is telling us about Krishna's body. Okay. He does not possess any a bodily form like that of an ordinary living entity. There is no difference between his body and his soul. Okay. He is absolute. His senses are transcendental. Any one of his senses can perform the action of any other sense. Okay, very important thing. That means if Krishna wants to eat something, he doesn't need to eat like us, through the mouth only. He can just glance at the food and he can be satisfied with that, right? So his any of the senses can perform the function of other sense. Okay, his potencies are multifarious, and thus his deeds are automatically performed as natural sequence. Okay, So this is a very nice quotation Prabhupada is giving from Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Okay, verse number 6.7 to verse number 8. Okay, this is the actual reference. Okay. So he's always in his original position. Okay, and this is full of knowledge. Okay, and there is one more thing. There is no one greater than him, and he is the supreme cause of all causes. Okay, that means no one is greater than him or no one is equal to him. Okay, so we have to understand this is a very important point. And I can narrate or quote a very nice pastime of Devaki and Vasudev. Okay, they were parents of Krishna, as we all know. Okay, when Krishna appeared, but how did Krishna become their child? Okay, so there's a story behind that. Okay, so when Devaki and Vasudev, in their previous lives, they were actually very great devotees of Krishna. Okay, Lord Sri Krishna, and they wanted Sri Krishna as their child. So what happened? That they performed a lot of tapasya, a lot of austerities they did. Okay, and finally Krishna was very pleased by their austerities that they performed, and he appeared in front of them. Okay, and very intelligently, these two people, they asked for a benediction from Krishna. Okay, and what was that benediction? That we want you as our child. Okay, we want a child like you. Okay, sorry, they said that we want a child like you. Okay, now Krishna said that, look, I am asama urdhava. Okay, asama urdhava means, asama means there is no one. Sama means equal. Okay, so there is no one equal to me, and urdhava means above, and there is no one above me. Okay, no one is equal to me or no one is greater than me. So Krishna is also known as asama urdhava. Okay, so now what to do? Okay, you want a child like me, it's not possible. Okay, that someone who is equal to me or who is greater than me, no one is qualified to take that position. Okay, so what can we do now? So Krishna said, okay, let me solve this problem. I will myself become your child. Okay, in the next yuga, when you both will appear as Devaki and Vasudev, I'll become your child. Okay, and this way, Krishna appeared as Lord Sri Krishna in the Dwapar Yuga. We all know that, right? So from this particular pastime and this particular line of the purport, we can clearly understand that that there is no one equal to Sri Krishna or no one greater than Sri Krishna. Okay, this is another very important point to understand. Okay, then we will read from the purport again. His potencies are multifarious, and thus his deeds are automatically performed as a natural sequence. Okay, that means he has multifarious potencies, okay, unlimited potencies, okay, many different energies which are all working around, okay, in all different planetary systems, not just Earth, okay, Earth planetary system, but all the different planetary systems across all the universes. Okay, we know Srimad Bhagavatam gives us a complete knowledge about the creation of this material world. Okay, and there is something known as Vedic cosmology. Okay, it will give you an idea about how many planetary systems are there. And Srimad Bhagavatam also tells us that there are innumerable universes. Okay, and each of them has a presiding deity, who is known as Lord Brahma, and so on and so forth. There are a lot of descriptions, so we'll not get into those details right now. But the point which I'm trying to make here is that Krishna has multiple energies with different energies, okay, and they all are working around in all the different planetary systems across all the universes, and his energies are taking care of various things that we see in our day-to-day lives. Okay, so we need to understand. Okay, one thing. Let's read from the purport again. Okay. Since everything is in full opulence in the personality of Godhead and is existing in full truth, there is no duty for Supreme Personality of Godhead to perform. Okay, so we understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? and he is Satchidananda Vigraha. Okay, okay, he is eternal, he is full of knowledge, he is uh, full of bliss. Okay, he is asama urdhava. There is no one equal to him or no one superior to him. Okay, so such a personality has no duty to perform. Okay, he is not obliged to perform any duties. Okay, now first of all, another thing that we want to understand here is that who will have some duty. Okay, let's try to understand that first. Then things will be much clearer. Okay, a person who is embodied, okay, just like us, okay, jivatmas like us, that we are in this material body. What I said a few moments earlier, that we are living inside this material body, which is created of five elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Okay, so such a person is known as an embodied person. Okay, a person who is stuck in this body. Okay, and such a person will have some duty to perform. Okay, and why there is a need for such a person to perform the duties. Okay, why should there be a prescribed duty? Okay, the prescribed duty, or the varnashrama system, okay, the duties of the varna and ashrama are very important for the baddha jivas like us. Okay, because we are contaminated. Okay, we are contaminated by five things. Okay, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya. Okay. Kam means lust, Krodh is anger, Moh, attachment, Mad, pride, Matsarya, jealousy or enviousness. Okay. We have these five contaminations. None of us is free from this. Okay. Right from the lowermost planetary system to the topmost planetary system, each and every living entity is afflicted by these five contaminations. Okay. And we need to purify ourselves if we want to get rid of this material body once and for all. Okay, we want to break this cycle of life and death and go back home, back to Krishna. Okay, then we need to purify ourselves. Okay, and all these duties which are given in the shastras will purify us. Okay, that is the reason why these prescribed duties have been given to us by the shastra. Okay, and it will help the person to march towards the ultimate goal of life, which is to break the cycle of birth and death. Okay, so this is the reason why a person has to, an embodied person has to perform some duty. Okay, but when it comes to Krishna, first of all, where will he march to? First of all, he is not embodied. Okay, there is no difference between his body and his soul. Okay, second, where will he march to? Okay, he is already the ultimate. Okay, there is no question of him marching or going anywhere. Okay, he himself is the ultimate goal. Okay, of each and every living entity. Okay, so he does not have any goal for himself. Okay, he is the goal, he is the destination. Okay, so when it comes to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, okay, there is no need for him to execute any duty. Okay, and he is Pavitra, he is all pure, right? So, and he is fully spiritual, as I said. Okay, there is no difference between his body and his soul. Okay, so he is eternally liberated, right? Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. Okay, he is completely and eternally liberated. Okay, so this is what is spoken here, that he does not have any duty to perform. Okay, so let's continue from the purport. One who must receive the results of the work has some designated duty, but one who has nothing to achieve within the three planetary systems has certainly no duty. Okay, that means, let me cite one example actually to explain this. That, say, example of an IT professional. Okay? So why does he go to work? An IT professional, why does he go to work? Or any person for that matter, not necessarily IT professional, but any person, like we generally go to work. Why do we go to work? Okay, why do we have to do so? Only one reason. Okay, and that reason is that person wants to earn some money. Okay, he is in need of money. Okay, there is no question about it. Okay, he's in need of some food, shelter, clothing, etc., so on and so forth, right? So he's going there, going to the office, going to a workplace where he is offering some services, and then in turn he's getting some money. Okay, clear. But when it comes to Sri Krishna, everything belongs to him. Okay, he is the owner and he is the proprietor of everything material and spiritual. Okay, so what does he need? He doesn't need anything, right? So he is completely and absolutely independent. Okay, in the first sloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna is referred to as Swarat. Okay, Swarat means independent. Okay, and he is not dependent on anyone. Okay, if we closely analyze, ourselves, okay, someone or the other is at the top of us. Okay, who is giving us directions and we have to just follow. Okay, maybe say starting from the home, the kids, parents are there on top of them. Okay, for parents, the grandparents are there. Okay, and like this, that hierarchy is there. Correct. In our offices, when we are working, the employee is there, the supervisor is there, supervisor's supervisor is there, and there's a high hierarchy there. Even if a person is, like says that, okay, I'm not reporting to anyone, okay, I'm completely independent, still he's under the laws of the government, okay, the country in which he or she is residing, right? They are under the law of that government, that state, correct? Even let's assume that a person says that, okay, I'm above the laws of any government in any world, right? Still such a person is under the laws of material nature and no one can escape that. Okay, no one can escape that. So in a way we are always dependent. Okay, we are always dependent, but Krishna is always independent. Okay, that is the biggest difference between us and Sri Krishna. Krishna is not dependent on anyone. Okay, whereas all the other living entities are completely dependent upon Sri Krishna. Okay, so he does not need anything or anyone. He is Atmaram, right? He is completely independent. So why does he need to work, right? So let's see what Prabhupada is saying in the purport. Okay, and yet Lord Krishna is engaged in the battlefield of Kurukshetra as the leader of the Kshatriyas because the Kshatriyas are duty bound to give protection to the distressed. Although he is above all the regulations of the revealed scriptures, he does not do anything that violates the revealed scriptures. Yes, that means although he is supremely independent, still Lord Sri Krishna is performing his duty as a Kshatriya in the battlefield, or we'll see later on that not just as a Kshatriya but also as a householder, he was performing all the duties, and in every aspect of life. As a student, also he performed all the duties, which are in the revealed scriptures, right? So he is performing all the prescribed duties, although there is no need for him to do so. Okay. In this way, we understand that Lord Sri Krishna is setting an example for common people in general. Okay. But now a question may arise that why Sri Krishna is following the scriptures when he himself has given these scriptures to the Jiva, right? He is the author. Everything emanates from him. So even the Vedas, they have come out from him, right? So why does he need to follow that, the rules and regulations which are prescribed in the Vedas? Okay. When a king sets some rules, the rules are there for the subjects of the kingdom, not for the king himself, right? So similarly, the prescribed duties in the Vedic scriptures are for the common people in general and not for Sri Krishna. So why is he following the scriptures? Krishna will explain more elaborately in the next verse. Okay, so we'll read the next verse. Let me share my screen. Okay, chapter number 3, verse number 23 goes like this. यदि ह्यहं न वर्तेयं जातु कर्मण्यतन्द्रितः मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः यदि ह्यहं न वर्तेयं जातु कर्मण्यतन्द्रितः मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः. So we will first have a look at the keywords and then we will try to understand. Okay. Yadi, if. Okay. Hyaham na varteyam jatu. If I ever fail to do or engage in what? Okay. Karmanya tandritaha. That means performance of the prescribed duties. Okay. How? With atandrita, with great care. Okay. So what will happen if Krishna fails to perform the prescribed duties with great care? What will happen in that scenario? Okay. Manushya Partha Sarvasha. O Partha, there will be people who are there. Mam Vartamanu Vartante. They will follow me. My example, certainly. Okay. So Krishna is saying that if I don't follow the rules and regulations, which are prescribed in the Vedic scriptures, then people will take me as an example and start following my example and will lead a very miserable life, because of that. So let's read the translation again. Okay, the full translation. Share the screen again. Yes, second. So what is Krishna saying here? For if I ever failed to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Partha, certainly all men would follow my path. Okay. Krishna is saying that if I do not follow the prescribed duties, then everyone will follow the same path, okay? And which is very, very dangerous for any living entity. Okay, not following the prescribed duties. So here Sri Krishna is clarifying, okay, that why is he following the prescribed duties in spite of the fact that he is not bound to do so. Okay, so just to set an example for everyone. This we have seen partially in the previous verse also. Here he is will be elaborating this one. So Sri Krishna, so here Srila Prabhupada is basically making a very important point in the purport. Okay, let's try to read the purport. Although such rules and regulations are for the conditioned souls and not Lord Sri Krishna, because he descended to establish the principles of religion, he followed the prescribed rules. Okay. यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. Okay, that wherever there will be the degradation of religion and adharma or irreligion will prevail, okay, in such a circumstances or in such a scenario, I will appear. Okay, what Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, right? And he's saying paritranaya sadhunam, to protect the sadhus, to protect the pious people. Okay, vinashaya cha dushkrita, to kill the miscreants. Okay, or the irreligious folks. Okay, and then he's saying very important thing, dharma sansthapanarthaya. Okay, that means to re-establish the principles of dharma once again. Sambhavami yuge yuge. I will appear millennium after millennium. Okay, this is the promise which Krishna is actually giving in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, these two are the most popular verses. We all must be knowing this, but yeah, so this is the meaning. Okay, so Krishna is saying that because he is there to re-establish the principles of dharma, and if he himself is not, will not follow the Vedic principles or Vedic scriptures to set the right example, then people will not follow him. I mean, people will not follow the Vedic scriptures. People will follow his example, basically, right? So this is what Krishna is trying to clarify here. And this point, I would like to elaborate a little bit. Okay, it's an important thing. Okay, rules and regulations are mentioned in the purport. Okay, we say Vedic rules and regulations or the prescribed duties. Okay, so we must understand that the rules and regulations are for the conditioned souls. As in the previous verse, we saw that if a king makes the rule, then the rules is for the subjects of the kingdom. Okay, not for the king himself. Okay. Similarly, the rules and regulations are there for the conditioned souls like us. Okay, conditioned souls means the souls who are bound by the laws of material nature. Okay, such souls are known as conditioned souls. Okay, so to be precise, we are bound by the three modes of material nature. Okay, the mode of goodness, which is the satogun, mode of passion, rajogun, or mode of ignorance, tamogun. Okay, especially for the souls who are primarily in the mode of passion and ignorance. Okay, for them these rules and regulations are made. Okay, and what happens when someone follows the rules and regulations of the scriptures? When someone follows the Vedic scriptures, okay, then the person is saved from gliding down to the modes of passion and ignorance. See, our ultimate goal, what is our ultimate goal? Our ultimate goal is to break the cycle of birth and death and go back home, back to Sri Krishna. Okay. But we are afflicted by these three modes of material nature. Okay. Out of which the mode of goodness is at a higher platform, and the mode of ignorance and mode of passion, these two are known as the lower modes of material nature. Okay. Now, when a person is situated in either the mode of ignorance or mode of passion, okay, in such a scenario, they will not be able to perform any spiritual practice. Okay, forget about following the rules and regulations of the Vedic scriptures. They will not be interested in even chanting the names of Lord Sri Krishna. Okay, the holy names of Lord Sri Krishna. Okay, so if we want to break this cycle of birth and death. Okay, the first and foremost thing, each Jivatma needs to do is to first elevate themselves to the mode of goodness. Okay, so that such a spirit soul is primarily situated at the mode of goodness. Okay, so if we follow the rules and regulations which are prescribed in the Shastra, that those rules and regulations will prevent us from gliding down to the modes of passion and ignorance. Okay, they will help us to keep us to stay. Uh, they will help us to maintain, a spirit soul in the mode of goodness, primarily in the mode of goodness. Okay. So when one starts following the Vedic scriptures, what happens that by the mercy of the Lord, okay, they begin to elevate their consciousness, okay, higher and higher. And soon what happens, once we are primarily situated on the mode of goodness, over a period of time, what will happen by mercy of Lord Sri Krishna, we will transcend the three modes of material nature. We will come above those three modes of material nature, okay, and we will reach a point which is known as pure goodness or Shuddha Sattva, okay. And at this stage the person is liberated. Okay, even though such a person may appear to be situated in this material world, such a person may appear to be in this material body, but that person is already liberated soul. Okay, so it's really funny and ironical that people these days say that, oh, I don't want to follow any rules and regulations. Why? Because I want freedom. Okay, I want to be free. Okay, but the truth is, those who don't follow the rules and regulations of the scriptures, they are completely bound by the modes of material nature, the modes of passion and modes of ignorance. Okay, and these modes actually guide them to perform all the what to say, uh, nonsensical actions. Okay, and on the other hand, the person who follows the Vedic scripture, transcends the mode of material nature. That means such a person is actually free. Okay, such a person is enjoying the actual freedom. Okay, in following the scripture. Okay, so now tell me, where is the actual freedom? In following the scriptures or in not following the scriptures? Okay, so all this is about the conditioned souls. Okay, that people who are conditioned souls means souls like us who are embodied and who are under the laws of material nature, who are under the laws of three modes of material nature. Okay, all those who are stuck in the three modes of material nature. But when it comes to Lord Sri Krishna, he is gunatit. Okay, he is above all the three modes of material. He is not even material, right? He has created this material nature, right? He has created this material nature, right? So भूमिरापो अनलो वायु ख मनोबुद्धिरेव च अहंकार इतीयम में भिन्ना प्रकृतिरष्टधा. Okay, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. These are all my separated external energies. Okay, Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, right? So he's gunatit. He's above all these three modes of material nature. He's above the material nature itself, right? So why does he have to follow the rules and regulations? Okay, just to show the living entities, especially we, the humans, okay, that how the rules and regulations should be followed and how to transcend the three modes of material nature. Okay, how to get above the three modes of material nature. Let's read from the purport what Srila Prabhupada is trying to say here. Other, Otherwise, common men will follow his footsteps because he is the greatest authority. Yes, Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? So if he is not following or he is not setting an example by following the scriptures properly, what will happen? People will follow him. Okay, they will take it for granted कि हाँ ठीक है, जब वो नहीं कर रहे हैं तो हम क्यों करें, right? Right? So when it comes to Sri Krishna, he is the supreme personality of Godhead and he is the Sarva Karana Karanam, right? He is the cause of all causes. And who can be greater than that personality, right? No one is equal to him. No one is greater than him. We just saw, right, this term Asamauddhava, one of the names of Sri Krishna. Okay, which means neither anyone is equal to him nor anyone is greater than him. Okay, we'll continue to read from the purport from Srimad Bhagavatam. It is understood that Lord Sri Krishna is performing all the religious duties at home and out of home as required by the householder. So Krishna, when he was in Dwarka, right, and also as a student, also in every aspect of life, like he has actually followed all the Vedic scriptures and he has led by example. Okay, but one example which I'm, since it was mentioned in the purport, okay, that as a householder, he was performing all the, uh, the, the duties of a householder, right? So we'll try to see, how Krishna was actually following all the principles that a householder should follow. Okay, when he was in Dwarka as a king of Dwarka. Okay, so in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam or in the Krishna book, it is very nicely given. Okay, that how Krishna was performing all the duties very nicely as a householder. Okay, it is given that every day, okay, every day Krishna, when he was in Dwarka, he would wake up in the Brahma Muhurta. Okay, what is Brahma Muhurta? In case those people who don't know, Brahma Muhurta is that part of the early morning, which is say 2 hours before the sunrise. Okay, so that is known as the Brahma Muhurta time. Ideally, it's somewhere around 3:40 a.m. in the morning, 3:44, 4:15, okay, like that in the morning, and it lasts till the sunrise. Okay, so after waking up, so he used to wake up in the Brahma Muhurta, and after waking up, he would touch clean water to purify himself. Okay, so now just see who is trying to purify himself with clean water, right? The one who is all pure, right? Completely pure, right? So just he is trying to set one example. Okay, that we should rise up in the Brahma Muhurta. We should first clean ourselves with water. Okay, take a bath ideally. Okay, if you can, right? And then he would sit down in meditation. Now, on whom Krishna should meditate? Okay, he is a Urdhava, right? As I said, no one is equal to him, no one is greater than him. So, on whom he should be meditating, right? Upon whom he should be meditating upon. Okay, the entire world is meditating upon him, and he is meditating upon whom? No one is eligible, right? So, he is meditating upon himself. Okay, and after meditation, what would he do? Right? He would dress himself very nicely. And it is said that every day he gave away 13,000 plus cows. Okay. Very nicely decorated cows, with silver hoofs and, some gold ornaments also. And he gave away these cows to some very qualified Brahmanas. Okay. And after that, he used to mount his chariot. He used to go to his courtroom or Mahasabha. Okay. And he used to carry out all the administrative work as a king, right? So in this way, Lord Sri Krishna gave an ideal example, okay, through himself, that how a householder should behave, okay. Especially, when Narad Muni used to come and visit him, right? Krishna would get up from his throne, okay. He would personally welcome him, okay. He used to offer him a seat which was higher than that of his throne, okay, higher than his own throne. Then he would wash his feet. He would offer prayers to him, okay, and then very humble, in a very humble way, just sitting at a lower position than Narad Muni, he would wait for the instructions of Narad Muni. Okay, so this is called setting an example. Although Krishna had no necessity or had no obligation to do all these things, right? He is the Sarva Karana Karanam, right? He is the cause of all causes. He has created everything. The Vedas have come out of him. What is the need of him, to perform all these duties as a householder? Okay, still he is doing all these things just to set the right example. Okay, so Krishna was setting an example for all the living entities, especially for the human beings, and among the human beings, especially for the householders. Okay, so Sri Krishna is very clear in this verse that I am setting the example. Okay, O Arjuna, I am the creator. I do not need anything. I am the annihilator. I am the maintainer. I am everything. Okay. I need not follow the rules and regulations of the scriptures, but still I am doing this because if I fail to do it, the entire human society will follow that. Okay. And they will all be on the wrong path. Okay. So this is the reason I am doing it, O Arjuna, and you are also expected to do the same. Yes. So get up and fight. Okay. Don't sit here on the chariot. This is what Krishna is saying. Okay. So in the next verse, Sri Krishna will tell us what will happen if he does not follow the injunctions of the Shastra. Okay. That we will see in the next video. So I would like to pause here now. I hope all of you like this session. Okay. And if there are any questions, obviously, I expect that there must be a lot of questions. So if there are any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat box. Okay. Um, in case you want to have a more personalized interaction with me, okay, if you have any questions which you want me to specifically answer, maybe sometimes the questions may be very subjective. Okay. So in that scenario, you can connect with ISKCON Whitefield or ISKCON Kannamangala. The contact details have been given in the description box below. Okay, and we'll add you to a WhatsApp group, and I'm a part of that WhatsApp group, so we can have a more personalized interactions. Okay, and eh, just please feel free to post your questions in the chat box or in the comment sections. Okay, in the comment sections, like if I feel, I'll try to go through all the questions. I'll try to answer them personally also. Okay, as and when I get some time. But if I feel that the question is very generic one, okay, and it can benefit a large number of people in general, okay, then I may consider creating a video out of that question also. Okay, so with that, I would like to end this session now. Okay, thank you so much. I will see you all again next week. Till then, Hare Krishna.